I wanted to talk about powdery mildew today. It can destroy your plants and it can destroy your plants quick. Fortunately, I don't have any powdery mildew on my plants right now, so I can't really physically show you, but I will put up a couple of photos throughout the video so that you can kind of see what it looks like on leaves. Powdery mildew is a fungus and it normally covers the top of the leaves, but it can be on the bottom and it can be on both sides as well as the stem. And the reason they call it powdery mildew is because it looks like talcum powder. So if you come outside and you have white stuff on any of your leaves, on any of your plants, and it just looks like some powder is on there, somebody shook some powder on there, that's powdery mildew. And you need to get rid of it ASAP. If you leave it there, it can turn the leaves yellow, it can dry them out. It can also cause the leaves to kind of start twisting up or curling around, or just, be a little bit disfigured. And eventually your plant can die. So you don't want to leave it on there thinking, oh, well, and don't just try to take a hose and wash it off, because it ain't going nowhere that easy. Trust me, been there, done that, and I don't want you to do it too. So where does this powdery mildew come from? It doesn't just appear, okay? It's a fungus, and it usually comes from your soil or garden debris, something else that you may have left around, or any debris that comes from your garden. It can come from that too. It's just a fungus, okay? So how does it get on your leaves? Typically, it's through the wind or through water splashing on it. And that's why you hear all the time gardeners say, don't get the leaves wet, don't get the leaves wet, don't get the leaves wet. Because if it's splashing from your soil and there's a fungus in your soil and it gets on your leaves, it's going to get on the plant from there. That's that powdery mildew. If at all possible, you want to avoid, when you water, splashing the water from your soil onto your leaves. Now I know you say it can be confusing, because a lot of people you'll hear say, don't get the leaves wet when you water. The leaves don't like to be wet. That's not necessarily accurate, because you have to think about it. When it rains, they get wet. But when it rains, it's not being splashed on from the soil that could carry the fungus or any other type of disease. So that's why when it comes down, it's okay, as opposed to being splashed up. There's a huge difference in that, okay? That's another reason why you don't want your bottom leaves of most plants touching the soil. I just cut off all of the bottom leaves over on my tomato plants. You can literally see through it now. Let's take a look. As you can see right under all of my tomato plants. Those bottom leaves, first of all, are not going to produce the tomatoes. That's the lowest tomato I have right there. All the rest of them are up, 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 and even my cherry tomatoes are up, up, up. So keep your leaves off of touching the soil down here. They don't need to touch the soil, especially of things like tomato plants. Most of the time, if you develop powdery mildew, you probably won't get fruits or veggies on your plants. But if you do, it will probably affect the yield that you get, so your harvest won't be as big, and it most definitely affects the flavor. Okay, so you want to attack it as soon as possible, because that's another thing. You come outside and you see this leaf with this powdery stuff on it, the mildew, and you say, okay, I'm going to come back and get it tomorrow. And tomorrow, half your plant has it on. It spreads rapidly, okay? So if you can, attack it. So now what do we do to get rid of this powdery mildew? I'm pretty sure there are a lot of different things you can use to get rid of the powdery mildew, both organic and non-organic. But I'm going to share with you what I use to get rid of the powdery mildew that I have had in the past, and hopefully I won't have to have it this year. I use a mixture of 1 tablespoon of baking soda, 1 tablespoon of neem oil, about a teaspoon of dish soap, and I use Dawn. I don't know if it matters the type of dish soap you use, but I use Dawn. And I will combine that in a gallon of water. Then from there, I will put it in a spray bottle. Now, when you get ready, first of all, mix it really well in your gallon container. And if it's sitting in your gallon container, make sure you shake it before you put it in the spray bottle so you'll get, it'll be all mixed together. So pour it in the spray bottle, any size spray bottle will do. Put it in the spray bottle, and then I come out and I spray my leaves. I don't care if it's on the top or the bottom, I'm spraying the whole thing and I typically spray the leaves around it. I haven't found that it hurts the leaves around it, so I kind of spray the leaves around it as well, just in case there's some on there and I missed it or I didn't see it. Now, if it's humid outside, you want to do this every 5 days, 5 to 7 days. And if it rains, you will need to repeat the process, okay? But if you can get this mixed up, I keep neem oil on hand. I have dish soap, I have baking soda. So when I see it, I run and get me a bottle and I mix this up and I spray my plants with it immediately. So I just wanted to touch on powdery mildew while I was thinking about it. So I hope this helps someone. If you do see it, and like I said, make sure you attack it right away because it will spread really quickly. If you are new to the channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me today here in my garden. I really do appreciate each and every one of you, my returning subscribers. Thank you so much for keep coming back, and channel members, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for your loyal, faithful support. Okay, I'm Pam, this is Zone 8A, and anywhere you can sit a pot, you can grow a plant.